So, welcome everyone. We have with us Vashisht Kumar, who has been selected by IIM Bangalore and FMS this year. In this session, we will discuss his preparation journey, his experiences, and then try to learn from them. Please type in your questions and we will try to take them along the way. So, Vashisht, thank you for joining us. Let's start with a
So,
bit of Yeah, thank you. And let's start with a bit of an introduction. So, could you please tell us about your academic background? Which subjects did you study and how did you perform at studies?
right. So hi everyone, myself Vashisht. As they mentioned that I have converted. I'm Bangalore and FMS this year. So talking about my previous background, I am from non-engineering background. I did my 11th and 12th in commerce stream. In my 10th and 12th, I hold 90 plus percentage in both my 10th and 12th, as well as my grad was above 8 CGPA, which is quite considered good in non-engineering and arts stream. I don't know about the engineering part. So now talking about my CAD journey. Before that, if there is any other question, because I believe my academics was sorted, so that really helped me a lot in getting calls from colleges like I am Lucknow, I am Ahmedabad, I am Bangalore.
Great. So let's maybe start off with your motivation, right? So, could you let tell us like when did you start to think about the IIMs? What motivated you to aim for the IIMs, and when did you really get serious about your preparation?
Got it. So I believe it was consulting that attracted me to IIMs. So I hail from DU, where Bain and Company, McKinsey, BCG, all the backends or capability network of these firms, they recruit candidates. However, again, the number is very, very low compared to any other tier one engineering college or you say IIMs. So during my undergrad college in my first year, I participated in a lot of case competitions and really I worked on projects, consulting projects. So consulting was something that really excited me. It was problem solving every day. I was learning something new while working on the projects. So I decided that consulting is something that really drives me and is the way that I look forward my future to be the career. So then I decided to go into the IIMs. The reason being that they are a major source of recruitments of consultants by all the MBB and other consulting firms. So I believe that IIMs will provide me a good, a start for the consulting.
You're right. That's very interesting. Now, when you started, did you do anything special like looking at the syllabus, taking a few mocks,
Right.
etc., talking to seniors, or were you only interested in getting the right coaching and just leaving the rest to your coaching institute?
So initially, I did consulted few of my seniors. I asked them about their experience in CAT, where did they took coaching from, what is their view on CAT exam, its difficulty, its pattern, how it's different from our usual board exam. Because I didn't give any competitive exam earlier. I didn't give JE, etc. I only appeared for board exam, and this was my first competitive exam at such a large scale. So definitely, it was a huge challenge for me. So what I did initially was I consulted my seniors. I consulted people from IIMs. I consulted several coaching institutes, but also I appeared for a mock. I gave a 2021 CAT slot 3, and I saw that in WAC my score was highest, which is usual case with non-engineers. However, in DILR I was really scoring very low percentiles. So that was my review of initial my first mock. I knew that I need to work a lot on DILR and QA too, especially.
Right. And I suppose you chose coaching. So if I could ask you, how did you arrive at your decision that your coaching institute was the best fit for you?
Right. So, many people will advise you that don't ask others, just try yourself, try all the coachings. but that defeats the purpose, right? Why you are asking other person, for example, the reason why I was asking my seniors for guidance was very simple. It was because I didn't have time to take demo classes for all the coachings available. So they were my seniors who told me that few red mark coachings, I won't name them, 3 to 4 coachings which are very famous on YouTube, but actually their content is not that good, right? So basically, initially, I also took demo class from Time Offline Center near my college. But later, I enrolled for an online coaching because the individual attention was there 24/7, doubt solving support by faculties, and all of that stuff. So I believe that online will suit me better, considering my college studies and other commitments too.
Right. Before we proceed, just a reminder to everyone, if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the message box,
Yes,
and,
guys.
and we will take them along the way. Now, moving on, I wanted to ask you, I mean, I think you mentioned you found LRDI and possibly quants difficult.
Right.
So I wanted to ask, how did you approach them? So how much time did you devote to these subjects? And did you also rely on any other resources or mentorship apart from what you got at your coaching institute?
Right. So I believe that once you are done with the coaching institute, once you are finalized with, yeah, this is the coaching institute that I will be going forward with, you should not look for alternative strategies or hundreds of other advice. You should just trust on your coaching and the process, right? So what I did for QA was sort of streamlined. You know, we know what concepts will come, what type of questions can come. So for QA, initially, I went with the Arun Sharma LOD level 1 and 2 and time modules. Then what I did was, after doing 2 to 3 revisions of all the questions from Arun Sharma that I found difficult in first go and modules, I went to the past year papers and mocks of previous years. Then, when I was comfortable with the concepts and different types of questions, I went with this year mock series, that was 2022 mock series of IMS, CRECU, and CL. So quant was sort of streamlined compared to DILR, because again, DILR is totally unpredictable section. So in DILR, what I did was basically solving Sudoku and Kapuru puzzle. This was advice given to me by a senior. And besides that, I also did Arun Sharma, although I will not advise students to do Arun Sharma. The reason I did was because the quantity of question is very high for LR and DI both. So I wanted to sort of, develop my level from zero to basically moderate. Then I went to the past year papers from 2017. I will not advise again to go for, like 1996 papers. They will be of no help in DILR. And then mocks from 2016.
And what about your strategy for VARC?
Right. So I believe that according to me, the logical reasoning that you require in VARC, it's far more than what you require in the logical reasoning section of DILR. So it's not about how good is your English, it's about how good is your critical reasoning skills, and as well as how different combinations you can make in the verbal ability question. For example, from my end, what I did was, like usually traditionally student devotes like 10 to 12 minutes max for verbal ability questions. But I knew that, if I devote 20 to 22 minutes in verbal ability, I have chances to cracking most of the questions, because I will have time to make different combination in para jumbles, etc., and what makes sense to me. So, when you all will give mocks, the thing that I did for work was, I only read newspaper and AE essays. I attempted, I guess, 2 to 3 RCs daily from RC 99 Aristotle. And besides that, I also used to give some RCs from GMAT prep, because their level was pretty good. Beside that, only mocks. I relied only on mocks and analysis for my work part, and developing different strategies throughout.
So, how much time did you devote on average to say the different subjects?
Okay, so since I also had college, I believe I devoted 1 hour to work, 2 hours to QA, and since DILR was my weakest section, I used to devote 3 hours where I used to also analyze. I used to give 30 to 40 minutes per set initially in DILR.
Right. So sorry, you every day you were able to spend like 4 to 6 hours for these subjects.
Yes, I was able to spend, because in Delhi University, our attendance system is also lenient compared to other, like for example, if you're from IITs. So that was definitely an advantage for me. In my college, attendance was not very strict, so I was able to take off for 2 days, and I also had Saturday and Sunday in my hand. So most of the week, I was able to devote this much time to my prep. And for the other weeks, I used to just skip the verbal ability and RC's part in BA. However, it was same for QA and DILR.
Great. That's very helpful. Thanks, Vashish. At this time, I would like to ask if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. You may unmute yourself or you may put your questions in the message box.
So I
Uh,
can see one question
yeah,
from Hitansh Thakre. I don't know if I pronounce it right. So Hitansh, your question is how many questions did you solve per day and how many hours did you study per day, right? Um, Hours was not fixed, I would say, but as I said, I used to solve 2 to 3 RCs, 5 to 6 VA questions in DILR, uh, 4 to 5 sets, which it will increase as you move forward in mock season, revision season, and in QA I used to solve one exercise of Arun Sharma like that. You can estimate, right? In the first year. I would say focus on your academics in first year. You can start from second year. It will be good enough time to ace CAT. Just focus on your academics and profile as of now. Okay. So where did I practice RCs and parajumpers from? I practiced from mocks, previous year mocks, previous year papers. Initially, I did Aristotle RC 99, and I also did random miscellaneous RCs from GMAT prep. You can look at that too.
Hello, Vashisht.
Uh,
Am I audible?
yes, you're audible.
Hi. So actually, I'd mentioned that you did your mocks. You did your prep from mocks. From like I guess 2016 onwards. So if you could just let me know where did you find? Like I could only fetch very few mocks. Like for example, 2021 for time and IMS. Like a very skewed proportion of mocks. But how could you find all these resources like the previous year mocks? If you could just let me know about that.
Right. So, I found it on Telegram group only. I'm confused between online and offline coaching. See, I prefer online coaching because offline coaching, what I saw was mostly fun and roaming around instead of study. So again, Devansh, it depends on you. Even in online, you can get individual attention, etc. There are many coachings like Cat Free and many, I could say 2 to 3 really good coaching where you get individual attention, which is even impossible in offline, right? So yeah, Darshan is Arun Sharma outdated as many say. See, Darshan, for developing your basic QA, DILR, I would say it's good. Arun Sharma is good. You can later move on to mocks, previous year paper, this year mocks, in order to get, what get asked in recent years and what probably it may ask this year too. I don't know, Devansh, if I can speak any coaching name. In offline, Devansh, it hugely depends on where you are based. It varies a lot. See, Vivek, ideal time is from beginning. I would say increase your frequency as you move on towards CAT. Not to go with DILR as a final. Rishabh, I had the same problem. I would say just in DILR, keep your fighting spirit high. Don't give up and keep on fighting with the set and do solve Sudoku and Kapuro puzzles daily. They will help a lot. And besides that, I would say you can watch some YouTube channel. They have good plays like Aptitude Jab, and they have like diverse variety of sets. Even I think Anastasia Shankar too. Did you practice analysis from the books? No. Initially, I did Arun Sharma for LR in order to get a huge number of questions and develop my basic skills because in mocks the question level is quite high. So I did it as I said. I didn't give any competitive exam earlier, so I have absolutely zero level. So I started with Arun Sharma and modules.
great. Thanks for these questions. Let's continue with our discussion. So, on the topic of mocks, could you maybe tell us when did you seriously start taking mocks and were you good at the start? And then also, how did you analyze your performance and get better at them?
Right. So I seriously started giving mocks from June after my second year exams. I was solely focused on CAT after that. Before that, I gave, I guess, 5 to 10 mocks in the period of 3 months. However, I was not looking at score of those mocks. Neither I analyzed. That was my mistake number one. I didn't analyze my mocks before June. So after that, did give a lot of mocks. Basically, I chose three series: CL, IMS, and CrackU, and I gave their mocks. Right, so in QA, it was pretty simple. When I used to see the question that I marked wrong, the analysis part was quite fast. I used to just write down the short techniques or concepts. Even for the right question, I used to see the approach. If it's a shorter approach, which I can use on similar variety of questions, then I used to inculcate in. If it was a question specific approach, then I used to ignore it mostly. And second part was DILR. In DILR, I used to solve the sets again without the timer. All the sets, whether I got them right or wrong. Then I used to see like where is the mistake lies. I also got to know like some techniques which are basically universal in sets related to suppose maxima, minima, or arrangement, which we can use in most of the sets. So you will get to know all these techniques, your individual strategies when you perform and give more and more mocks. For walk, it was most time taking for me because I used to read all the RCs again. I used to see, why did I get this wrong? What is the view of author, like etc. etc. So in walk, analysis part took easily 1.5 hours for me. So walk was most tiring in terms of analysis in mocks.